Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Janine Macklin here. I have to say, I honestly thought today was Saturday. And I try my best not to bother you on Saturdays. So from the time I got up, I kept thinking today was Saturday. I knew that there was a protest that a young woman was doing. She's 21, young soldier. There's about 4 of them, really. And I wanted to come and support them. So I brought them some water and snacks. And then I knew there was another protest that my son wanted to do with the BSU that was at 12. And for some reason, it just made sense to me that it was a Saturday because it was protest. And all of a sudden, in the middle of it, I thought, today's not Saturday, today is Friday. So, it's getting to the point where it's hard to keep track of the days. But I wanted to come out and support the young foot soldiers. When I was 20 and 21, I think I was in college, so I wasn't going to the protests. And my mom was not going to let me go to the Watts Riot protests. Those were quite volatile protests back then. So it's important to me, for me to be involved, and for them to know that there are those of us who've been on the planet longer that, bonjour, that support them and support their efforts. It certainly likens me to the days of the Black Panthers and Stokely Carmichael. And at that time, I think I was actually dating someone who, his sister was married to or dating one of the Black Panthers. But one of the things that's real true is as we come to some closure in this process, we may march for 15 days, but what comes next is going to be conversations. And that's what the young people were saying today, is our conversations. We're good on the marching, we brought the awareness, but what happens next? And that's what we have to begin to focus on. Because this is like the good stuff, the marching, the protesting, because you're in groups, you're with people. But then from there's going to be quite a bit that'll have to be done that we'll do one-on-one. As far as letter writing, campaigning, making sure you can vote, sitting down and having the conversations, because that was their whole thing today was, they wanted people to sit and talk and have conversations, which would have been great. I just need to get my son and get to the next protest because it's not Saturday, it's Friday. So Friday fact, Friday fun day, however you want to use it. But I really think now is time for us to activate a sense of faith, a sense of knowing that everything's going to unfold perfectly in its own divine order. It may not look the way we want. It may not happen the way we want, but the end result is what we want to be focused on. The end result is where we want to put our energy. And for that end result, it requires that our energy and our vibration is pretty high, that we're not walking around upset and sad and disappointed. And I know for some of you that can be tough. I think I was saying yesterday, I realized that some of you are essential workers. So you're going in every single day. On the one hand, that means you still get paid, which is good. On the other hand, though, it also means you're exposing yourself to various things, depending on where you're going. So we want to hold faith for our essential workers who are going in every day. We know Amazon Prime, because they're coming to our houses. We know FedEx is running all the time. They're coming to our houses. But there are people who are in offices that we may not even thought about because we just know we're not there. So to each and every one of you, that we have faith in you, what you're doing, that you're staying healthy, you're getting the rest that you need. Because now that we've been out, we know that means more of you may have to work in the hospitals because we've been out. But we're going to be out. We have to be out. They just can't keep us locked down, shut down for 6 months. We've got to have faith in our ability to trust ourselves and be willing to trust others and have those serious conversations. When I was leaving, the young man was talking about Black women and he didn't want Black women to feel like we were left out. To a degree, we have always felt like we were left out. We weren't part of the women's movement because while white women were talking about burning their bras and they didn't want to do whatever, Black women were like, we already doing that. That's what we do. So you guys go on in March, we're going to keep working. And so now we've had to step up so many times. Now we've also become more educated than our men. Now we're also making more money than our men. So it really becomes important for us to figure out a way to make sure that not only is the black man the focus, but that black women are the focus as well. And how do we keep ourselves safe? We have Breonna Taylor on our lips. We have several women on our lips, but we're just talking about on a regular day-to-day basis how much we have to carry, how much of the energy we carry. Because not only are black women taking care of their families, black women are also protecting their men and trying to take care of their men to make sure they are in the mindset that when they go out in that world, they do what they need to do to come back home safe. They don't get upset, they don't get mad, they don't talk crazy if they're stopped by the police. So there's a lot that black women do to maintain the black family or a black family. So today, you know, for Friday, have some fun. You can get out, be mindful when you're going out. Think about what you're doing, that there is a virus that is attaching itself to many things. So yeah, I do think it's good for us to have our masks, and more importantly, it's good for us to have our gloves, because whatever we touch with our gloves, we're less likely to bring our gloves to our face with anything on it. So for you, you may have to ask yourself, what is your faith in? Is your faith in an unwavering God? Then you're pretty good, because you know that ultimately everything's in divine order and everything's happening the way it's supposed to toward the evolving and the transformation that's supposed to happen on the planet to our hearts. So when I said it 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said it because it hit me, but I realized that's what this is. This is a crisis of health, and it's a crisis of our heart, because racism hits our hearts. It hits us hard. Just to live in it, to be in the fear of it, it hits us hard. So as we take care of our health more and more and look at other options, so how you can be healthier, what choices you can make now to do things differently that maybe you weren't willing to do before, as well as what else are you willing to do for your heart? Who are you willing to forgive? How are you willing to forgive yourself? How are you willing to, I want to say, forgive America and let America off the hook, so you're not still mad at America, and then free up all of that energy? How do you let go of anybody else that's made you mad in your personal relationships, and then let go of that energy? So then you're actually open to listen to other people, because it's time to have the uncomfortable conversations, and it's time to have them with whoever's willing to have them with you, and to be able to explain to people what it is like to live in our skin. So we need to be clear ourselves before we have these conversations, so we're not just going off on people and giving people a hard time and talking crazy to them. But it's really for them to understand what it's like living in our skin. And if you have somebody that's willing to listen to that openly, wow, you made a U-turn in front of a wall and you got a handicap sticker. I tell you. So we have to be open to have those conversations, the uncomfortable conversations. So when someone's saying, well, your people do this, and I thought your people do that, you don't take offense to it. You just say, let me tell you the true story. Let me tell you what it is that we are dealing with and what we have to live with. You know, you guys just do this and you guys do that. Some of us may do that, but not a whole entire race of people do that. And that's when the conversations get tough. So if we take care of ourselves and do our own healing, put the faith in us and faith in God first, then when we open up to talk to others, we can be pretty centered with whatever they say. I have nobody probably saying, well, you know, you're a nigger, and you know, your people came here and you shouldn't be here. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what you think. That, however, is not what I think. And that's the past. What are we going to do about right now? So I can't think if there's too much of anything that white supremacists or somebody could say, as long as they don't touch me, that's going to get me out of alignment with the vision that I hold for America. I don't think there's much that's going to do that. So you want to be clear for yourself as well, that when you're preparing for these conversations, and welcome them. I'm open to them. When I go walk in the morning and somebody comes and walks up next to me and they start talking, I just start talking with them too. So I welcome the conversations, and that's our next step. The next step after that is going to be, what are we doing with our money? And we are the ones that are really going to have to get clear. Next steps is, what are we doing with our money? Where are we spending our money? And how much are we really willing to shift where our money goes to something else and someone else who supports us? That's another place where we have to be more strategic. the hair that we buy is, I was looking at Wildin' Out the other night. It may have been an old one, but it was an Asian guy and this black girl. And of course, she had hair down to her butt. And the whole time they were doing, what was it, pick up and kidding and kidding. One of those. And so what he was saying, she did all her rapping and everything. And she was talking about her nails and her hair. And he said, and when she said her hair, he said, and my mom owns your shop. And then when she said something else, it was her nails or something, he said, and my mom owns that too. And it was amazing just to see them banter back and forth, but still telling the truth, that the Asians came into the black community, I want to say in the 70s, and have never left. And they don't hire black folks usually. So these are uncomfortable conversations that it's time for us to have with who we're willing to have them with. To be transparent, to be honest, to just share. Not to judge, not to criticize, but simply to just share. That's ultimately where we're headed. Because we can't keep marching. You know, we've got to be in it for the long haul. The gentleman was saying today the same thing I said. The Montgomery March was a year. The Montgomery March was a year. Can you imagine not driving for a year and walking to work? There was something else. One of the other marches, he said, was 6 months. So we're just March, April, May, June, 4 months into something that could potentially go for a year. So just be mindful, get you some rest this weekend. More things are open. So now you have the wonderful control that you wanted. Control, you can't tell me what to do. So now you can tell yourself what to do. And we're all hoping that in the decisions that we all make, we'll think of others. That's why it's a heart crisis. We are being forced to think about others. And most Americans don't want to do that. So it's a health crisis and a heart crisis. So spend some time checking on your heart, what's in your heart, what you need to release and let go of in your heart for greater, amazing things to come into your life. More abundance to flow into your life, more love to flow into your life. Remember now, you can't be talking about I want love and I want a great relationship and you're mad at people and you haven't forgiven people and you're carrying all this animosity inside of you. Get this all ready for whatever you say it is that you want next. Let it go. So then you're also ready to participate in some powerful, healing conversations with your coworkers. I mean, some of you will go back to work for the county or the federal government or the state. I worked for the county and we pretty much ate lunch together and worked together and then you went home. You can have powerful conversations if it's simply a matter of, wow, what do you think about the Black Lives Matter movement? And they may say, I don't think nothing about those niggers. They shouldn't be doing all that. Or they can say, well, I think it's a great thing and I'm happy to be a part of it. Or I don't care. It's not going to make a difference to me. Whatever it is, you'll be in a place to hear it, to navigate it, and to share some light and empower someone and not react to what you hear somebody saying. No need to be reacting. You got a long time to go. No reacting. So have a great Friday. We've got sun out here. I don't even remember where the temperature is, but it's about 89 at 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm heading to pick up the young man and take him with his BSU class so we can march down Pasadena into City Hall. Have a great weekend. Take good care. Stay safe. Make decisions that impact you while you're still thinking about how it may impact others. That's all you can do. Don't need to go around saying, oh, they don't have their mask on, or that's not fair. You don't need to get in arguments with people about the people who are choosing not to wear their mask. You wear yours, and what they do won't matter. Right? Right? Okay. Have a great day, a great weekend. Bye for now.